How is it that the guitar of choice for these guys is also the same for these guys? And this guy. And even this guy. That may simply be because according to Yngwie Malmsteen, Fender Stratocasters...
The perfect.
So in this episode, we are...
Till next time, thank you for watching.
Wait, what are you doing?
Do you need to say anything else, brah? Didn't Yngwie say enough?
Yeah, but what about...
You're doubting a guy who can do this?
Arpeggios from hell.
And this? And drives this?
His name is Yngwie, and I don't think he drove an F1. But anyway, I'm sure you guys would like to learn more about this legendary guitar. So in this episode, we're going to take a deep dive into the Fender Stratocaster and find out if it truly is the best electric guitar ever made. But before we do, please hit the subscribe button below. It helps me keep making videos like this and hopefully buy a Ferrari. The Fender Stratocaster was released in 1954 and it was a game changer. First and foremost, those single coil pickups. Great glassy tones, crisp and clear from neck to middle, and hot and nasally on the bridge. The Fender Strat-tone would become iconic in later years, being used to give certain genres of music their very distinct sound. Then, its vibrato bridge system. Before it, the most popular vibrato in the industry was the Bigsby, and that often made the guitars go out of tune. But the Strat's bridge system made use of a spring mechanism on the back of the guitar, and together it not only allowed for more creative pitch shifting, but did so without heavily affecting the guitar's tuning. And then, the body. I mean, look at it. We are now so used to this shape, the silhouette. It's probably the universal icon of an electric guitar. But back when it first came out, this looked completely out of this world. Other electric guitars back then still somewhat resembled the shape of an acoustic guitar, but the Stratocaster looked like it was from the future. Beyond looks, however, this body had a lot of practical features. It had what many now call the belly cut, which gave the guitar a more comfortable fit when people played it standing up. An improvement that addressed the comments of guitar players at the time who complained about the sharp edges of other electric guitars. The double cutaway gave you good access to the higher positions of the frets, letting players spend more time on that area of the neck, which in later years would encourage the crazy guitar heroics that would give rise to the modern-day virtuosos. And it was light. The Stratocaster weighed up to only 8 pounds compared to the Gibson Les Paul, which could sometimes weigh as heavy as 12 pounds. And the Strat's light construction just allowed you to be more free and play for longer. The neck is bolted on, or rather screwed in place, a feature adopted by Fender's earlier Telecaster model. Many guitar players claimed this makes the Stratocaster's overall construction more rigid and more solid than other guitars available at that time. This bolt-on feature also had another benefit. It allowed the guitar to be manufactured at a lower cost. In fact, value for money was an important consideration in the guitar's design. Fender knew that if it lowered the price enough, it had a good chance of capturing the beginner segment of the market, which was set to grow in the coming years. And so with all of this combined, the Stratocaster's release had such a massive impact on the market and the music world in general. Soon, many guitar players would make it their instrument of choice. And of course, the fans of these artists, many of whom would later become the next generation of rock and roll stars, rushed out to buy these instruments. With the Stratocaster, Fender threatened the competition so much that the likes of Gibson would soon be introducing their own bold new designs on the market just to mitigate the dent in their sales. But why the history lesson? Well, because after all these years, the Fender Stratocaster is still essentially the same guitar. This is what I mean. Hey guys, what I have here in my hand is the Fender American Ultra Stratocaster from 2022. Now, the new generation of Fender Stratocasters might have this feature called an S1 switch. At the push of a button, what it does is it allows the neck pickup to still be present in all possible positions. So even if you're here in your bridge position, you're still getting a bit of this. And it also allows a treble bleed to be maintained so that even when you're in very low volume settings, you still get really good treble. Alder body, rosewood neck, tuners of course, with the added benefit of now having a locking feature. It's still got a great look. So let's check out how it sounds. Oh, that was such a lovely guitar. And guess what? That particular model was priced around 9,000 dirhams. If I were to go for an equal tier guitar from Gibson, say a Gibson Les Paul Standard, I would spend around 10,000 dirhams. So any way you look at it, it's just hard to go wrong with a Fender Stratocaster. But it's not completely perfect.
No?
Most of the things that people complain about have to do with the placement of the volume knobs, the tone knobs, and the switch, which are all quite close to the bridge. So your fingers might accidentally turn the volume knob when you're playing, or push down the tone switch. But then again, the likes of Jeff Beck turned that into an advantage, using the close proximity of the knobs to let the fingers do some swells, and combining it with a whammy bar to play a very unique, expressive style. And then, there's the vibrato. Even though it was a huge improvement over the Bixby, it can still make the guitar go out of tune. Unless, of course, you're using a Floyd Rose bridge, which you can also get on upgraded Stratocaster models. My solution to this? Just don't use it. And finally, those glassy tones. On its own, the Stratocaster sounds really good, but the moment you're jamming with maybe one other guitar player or a full-on band, you need something to cut through the mix. You either have to do a bit of tone management on the amplifier, or you need to get yourself a pedal.
Wait, so the Strat problems make you sound like Jeff Beck, discourage you from sounding like you're playing Hawaiian slide guitar, and encourage you to get a Boss Metal Zone?
No, I didn't say that.
Shut up and take my money!
My Fender Stratocaster is the guitar that I have used the most my entire life. I've recorded with it, I've played it on stage, I've taken it on tour. It's beyond excellent. It's so reliable, so stable. I've used it in my band Sandwash, where we play metal and hard rock, so it sounds great when you're using distortion or any kind of harsh overdrive. But on the other side of the spectrum, it also sounds great with my other band Walter, where we play this kind of new romantics music, and I basically play clean and have a chorus pedal on. Now, admittedly, this is what you would call a super Strat because it's got a few upgrades that you wouldn't find on your standard model, such as, it's got humbuckers for one, it's got a roller nut, and it's got a set of locking tuners. But essentially, it's still a Strat, and man, this is my go-to guitar. I couldn't recommend it enough. I mean, no matter what kind of music you're playing, what kind of level you are as a musician, and even if you're very loyal to certain brands, you really just can't go wrong with getting a Fender Stratocaster. And trust me, when you get one, you'll just be playing it all the time. It's that good. It really invites you to just make music. So to answer the question we posed at the beginning of the episode, is this the best electric guitar ever made? I think I've already answered that question, but I could be wrong. So if you guys think otherwise, please let us know in the comment section down below. Till next time, this is Michael Fillon, aka LOUDMIKEDXB, wishing that you keep discovering new sounds, new gear, and cool new music. Now I leave you with the words of Jimi Hendrix. Will the wind ever remember the names it has blown in the past? And with this crutch, its old age and its wisdom, it whispers, no, this will be the last. Jimmy just knew, guys. Jimmy knew. Later.